Steve Jobs, a journey of innovation and intuition. Steve Paul Jobs was born on February 24, 1955, in San Francisco, California. His biological parents, Abdul Fattah al-Jandali, a Syrian immigrant from a prominent family, and Joanne Schiebel, a Swiss-German-American graduate student, were unmarried at the time. During a visit to Abdul Fattah's family in Syria, Joanne became pregnant. Fearing social stigma, she returned to California, where they decided to put the baby up for adoption. Initially, Steve was to be adopted by a wealthy Catholic family, but the arrangement fell through. Instead, he was adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs, a working-class couple. Paul, a mechanic, and Clara, an accountant, promised Steve's biological parents that he would receive a college education. Though his biological parents later married and had another child, novelist Mona Simpson, Steve's relationship with them remained minimal. Reflecting on his adoption, Jobs once remarked, "They were my sperm and egg bank. That's not harsh. It's just the way it was." In 1959, the Jobs family moved to Mountain View, California, which was becoming a hub for electronics. Young Steve showed an early interest in tinkering with gadgets, but struggled academically. A fourth-grade teacher resorted to bribing him with candy and money to complete his assignments. This ignited a passion for learning, and he skipped a grade to enter middle school. However, bullying at Crittenden Middle School led Jobs to demand a transfer. His parents moved to Los Altos, placing him in a better school district. At Homestead High School, Jobs met Steve Wozniak, a like-minded electronics enthusiast. Their friendship would later lead to the founding of Apple. Jobs also demonstrated early ambition, cold-calling Bill Hewlett of Hewlett-Packard for spare parts and landing a summer internship at the company. Despite these achievements, Jobs found formal education uninspiring. After high school, he briefly attended Reed College in Oregon before dropping out, though he continued attending classes that interested him, such as calligraphy. This class would later influence the elegant typography of Apple products. During his time at Reed, Jobs experimented with alternative lifestyles, including strict diets and Eastern spirituality. He frequented the local Hare Krishna temple for free meals and became fascinated by Buddhism, which deeply influenced his minimalist design philosophy. Jobs also explored psychedelics, describing LSD as one of the most profound experiences of his life. After dropping out, Jobs worked odd jobs, including repairing equipment in Reed's psychology department and developing blue boxes with Wozniak to hack phone systems for free calls. This experience strengthened their bond and hinted at their future innovation in technology. In 1974, Jobs joined Atari as a technician, impressing the company despite his prickly personality. He convinced Atari to fund a trip to Germany, which he turned into a one-way ticket to India for a spiritual retreat. Jobs' experiences in India deepened his reliance on intuition, which he later credited as essential to his work. Upon returning, Jobs and Wozniak, along with Ronald Wayne, founded Apple in 1976 in the garage of Jobs' parents' home. Their first product, the Apple I, was a rudimentary computer sold to hobbyists. The following year, they launched the Apple II, the first personal computer aimed at consumers. Its success catapulted Apple's annual sales to $118 million within 3 years, making Jobs a multimillionaire at 25. Despite Apple's success, not all products were hits. The Apple III and Lisa computers were commercial failures. The latter, named after Jobs' daughter Lisa, was a sore point. Jobs initially denied paternity and refused to acknowledge the connection. A DNA test eventually proved otherwise, and Jobs admitted the naming years later. In 1984, Apple launched the Macintosh, a revolutionary product marketed with a famous Super Bowl commercial. However, its high price and modest sales led to tension between Jobs and CEO John Sculley. In 1985, the board sided with Sculley, and Jobs was ousted from Apple. Reflecting on the setback, Jobs said, "I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did." After leaving Apple, Jobs founded Next, focusing on advanced computers for higher education. Though Next struggled commercially, its technology would later form the basis of Apple's macOS. In 1986, Jobs purchased the computer graphics division of George Lucas's company, renaming it Pixar. Pixar's partnership with Disney resulted in Toy Story, 1995, the first fully computer-animated film. Jobs' perfectionism ensured the film's success and solidified Pixar's reputation. By the mid-1990s, Apple was on the brink of bankruptcy. In 1997, the company acquired Next, bringing Jobs back as CEO. Under his leadership, Apple introduced groundbreaking products like the iMac, iPod, and iPhone, transforming the tech landscape. The Think Different campaign redefined Apple's image, while Jobs' insistence on simplicity and functionality set a new standard for design. Jobs' perfectionism extended beyond products. He worked closely with designer Jony Ive to create devices that were both innovative and aesthetically pleasing. The iPod revolutionized music consumption, while the iPhone redefined mobile technology, making Apple one of the world's most valuable companies. In 2003, Jobs was diagnosed with a rare, treatable form of pancreatic cancer. However, he delayed surgery for 9 months, opting for alternative therapies instead. This decision, driven by his belief in bending reality to his will, likely shortened his life. Jobs eventually underwent surgery and a liver transplant, but continued to work intermittently. Despite his declining health, Jobs remained involved in Apple's major decisions. In August 2011, he resigned as CEO, stating, "I have always said if there ever came a day when I could no longer meet my duties and expectations as Apple's CEO, I would be the first to let you know." Unfortunately, that day has come. Jobs passed away on October 5, 2011, at the age of 56. He was buried in an unmarked grave, in line with his preference for simplicity. His final words, "Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow," encapsulated a life lived with wonder. Steve Jobs' life was marked by contradictions. A perfectionist who sometimes failed in personal relationships, a visionary who embraced intuition over intellect, and a leader who could be both inspiring and difficult. His belief in loving one's work resonated deeply. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. Jobs' legacy endures in the products he created, the companies he built, and the lives he inspired. His story is a testament to the power of passion, intuition, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more incredible stories.